the last person to see Elisa Lam alive. She stood in that elevator, pressing every single button, talking to someone who wasn't there. 3 weeks later, guests were drinking her corpse in their morning coffee. And I still don't know what she was running from. Hi, my name is Marcus. I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised in Koreatown. Back in 2013, I was working night security at the Cecil Hotel downtown. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid the bills while I was studying criminal justice at community college. The Cecil, if you know anything about LA, you know that hotel has a reputation. Skid Row is right there. We had transients, drug addicts, people living month to month in those tiny rooms. Richard Ramirez stayed there, the Night Stalker. So did other serial killers. But I never thought I'd be part of its darkest story. I never thought I'd spend the rest of my life wondering, what did she see that night? January 26th, 2013. Saturday night. I started my shift at 11 p.m. Elisa checked in that afternoon. I saw her at the front desk when I came in. Young girl, early 20s, Canadian. Asian. She had this big smile, this energy about her. She was traveling alone, which, at the Cecil, that's not common for someone like her. Is this your first time in LA? I heard the day clerk ask her. Yeah, she said, excited. I'm doing this whole West Coast tour. San Diego, LA, San Francisco. I'm a student. I just needed to get away for a while, you know? She seemed normal. Happy, even. The Cecil had a shared bathroom situation on some floors. Budget accommodations. Elisa was on the 5th floor initially, but within 2 days, she'd complained about her roommates. We moved her to a private room on the 14th floor. They were being weird, she told me when I helped her move her stuff. Like, watching me. I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid. She laughed when she said it, but there was something in her eyes. Something uncomfortable. You're not paranoid, I said. Some of the residents here, they're going through things. If you feel unsafe, you let me know, okay? She nodded. Thanked me. That was January 28th. I didn't see her again until the night of the 31st. January 31st, Thursday night. Around 11:45 p.m. I was doing my rounds, checking the lobby, making sure the doors were locked. The Cecil is a big building, 14 floors. Old. The kind of place where the elevators creak and the pipes bang in the walls at night. I walked past the elevator bank on the ground floor. One of the elevators was just sitting there, doors open, not moving. That happens sometimes. Someone would hold the door, or it would malfunction. I walked over to check it out, and that's when I saw her. Elisa. She was inside the elevator, but pressed against the side wall, like she was hiding. Her hands were moving, pressing buttons. All of them. Every single floor. Hey, I called out. You okay? She jumped, spun around to look at me. Her eyes. I'll never forget her eyes. Wide. Terrified. There's someone following me, she whispered. I looked down the hallway. Empty. Who's following you? I don't know, but they've been watching me. For days. I stepped closer to the elevator. She moved back, like she didn't trust me either. Elisa, it's me. Marcus. From security. Remember? I helped you move rooms. She blinked. Some recognition came back. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm really scared. Come on, let's get you back to your room. You're safe here. But even as I said it, I didn't believe it. The Cecil wasn't safe. Not really. She shook her head. No, I need to leave. I need to get out of here. It's almost midnight. Where are you going to go? She didn't answer. Just stood there, breathing hard, looking past me into the lobby like she expected someone to appear. Then she did something strange. She stepped out of the elevator into the hallway, peeked her head around the corner, looking both ways, like a child playing hide and seek. Then she jumped back into the elevator. Elisa, what are you doing? Testing, she muttered. I'm testing if they'll follow. If who will follow? She didn't answer. The elevator doors started to close, but she hit the button to open them again. Did this 4 times. Opening, closing, opening. Elisa, do you see them? She asked suddenly, pointing down the hallway to my left. I turned. Nothing there. See who? Them. The people. They're standing right there. My skin went cold. Elisa, there's no one there. She looked at me like I was lying, like I was in on it. You're one of them, she said quietly. No, I'm not. I'm trying to help you. But she'd already pressed the button for the 14th floor. The doors closed before I could stop her. I stood there for a moment, breathing hard myself now. Something was very wrong. I should have followed her up. I should have called someone. But I didn't. I told myself she was just high, or having a breakdown. People had breakdowns at the Cecil all the time. I went back to my desk, logged the incident, moved on with my shift. That was the last time anyone saw Elisa Lam alive. February 1st, Friday. Day shift. I came in that evening, and my supervisor pulled me aside. You see that Canadian girl around? Elisa? Not since last night. Why? Her parents called. She was supposed to check in with them yesterday and didn't. They're worried. Something dropped in my stomach. I saw her last night, around midnight. She was acting strange, really paranoid. Strange how? Like she thought someone was following her. She was hiding in the elevator, pressing all the buttons, talking about people watching her. My supervisor frowned. We need to check her room. We went up to the 14th floor, room 1420. I knocked. No answer. Used the master key. Opened the door. The room was empty, but not empty like she'd checked out. Empty like she'd just vanished. Her stuff was still there. Her clothes, her phone, her laptop, her wallet, everything. But Elisa? Gone. Jesus, my supervisor muttered. Call LAPD. Now. The police came. Searched the entire hotel. Every floor. Every room. The basement. The rooftop. Nothing. They pulled the security footage from that night. The elevator footage. I watched it with them. And it was worse than I remembered. In the video, Elisa steps into the elevator, presses all the buttons. Then she moves to the corner like she's hiding. She peeks out into the hallway, steps out, waves her hands around like she's talking to someone. But there's no one there. She gets back in. The elevator doors won't close. She presses the buttons again. And again. Then she steps out one more time, looks both ways. And the way she moves her hands, it's like she's arguing with someone, pleading. She disappears from the frame. The elevator doors finally close. Empty. What the hell was she doing? One of the officers asked. I don't know, I said. But my hands were shaking. Because I'd been there. I'd seen her. And I hadn't helped. Days passed. Then a week. The LAPD released the elevator footage to the public, hoping someone would recognize her or know something. It went viral. Millions of people watched it. Theories exploded online. Some said she was running from a killer. Others said she was possessed, playing a game, having a psychotic break. The footage was creepy, unexplainable. But Elisa was still missing. February 19th. 3 weeks after she disappeared, guests at the Cecil started complaining about the water. It was coming out brown, tasted strange. The pressure was low. Maintenance went up to check the water tanks on the roof. And that's when they found her. I wasn't there when they found her, but my supervisor called me right after. Marcus, they found Elisa. Oh, thank God. Is she? She's dead. She's been in the water tank. On the roof. I felt the room spin. What? She's in one of the water tanks. They don't know how long she's been there, but... Jesus, Marcus. The guests have been drinking that water, showering in it. I thought I was going to throw up. How did she get up there? We don't know. The rooftop access is locked. You need a key. And even if she got up there, those tanks are 10 feet tall. The lids weigh 60 pounds. You'd need a ladder to climb up, and you'd have to open the lid yourself. That's impossible. I know, but it happened. I went up to the roof the next day, after the police had cleared it. I needed to see it for myself. The water tanks were huge. 4 of them. Metal. Industrial. They sat on a platform above the roof. I stood at the base of the one where they'd found her. Tried to imagine Elisa climbing up, opening that heavy lid, lowering herself inside. And then what? The lid closing behind her? It didn't make sense. But they said there was no sign of trauma. No defensive wounds. No evidence of another person. The LAPD ruled it an accidental death. Said Elisa had a history of bipolar disorder. That she'd stopped taking her medication. That she'd had a psychotic episode, wandered up to the roof, climbed into the tank, and drowned. Case closed. But I knew better. I'd seen her that night. I'd seen the fear in her eyes. She wasn't just having a breakdown. She was running from something. And whatever it was, it followed her all the way to the roof. I quit the Cecil 2 months later. Couldn't do it anymore. Couldn't walk past that elevator without seeing her. Couldn't look at the roof without wondering what really happened up there. The hotel tried to move on, rebranded, changed its name. But people don't forget. The internet doesn't forget. Elisa's death became legend. Conspiracy theories, ghost stories. Some people said the hotel was cursed. That the spirits of all the people who died there, suicides, murders, overdoses, were trapped inside. That Elisa had become one of them. Others said it was simpler. A young woman with mental illness. A tragic accident. But here's what keeps me up at night. The elevator footage. The way she was moving. The way she was looking at something we couldn't see. What if she wasn't hallucinating? What if there really was someone there? Someone the cameras couldn't catch. Someone who followed her up to that roof. The autopsy showed she'd been in the water for weeks. Her body was decomposed, bloated. They found her naked, her clothes floating around her in the tank. Why would she take her clothes off? Why would she climb into a water tank and close the lid behind herself? Unless she didn't. I still live in LA, still in Koreatown, but I avoid downtown now. Avoid that whole area. The Cecil, it's called Stay on Main now, trying to erase its past. But I know the truth. Some places hold onto their darkness. Some places don't let go. And some mysteries, they're not meant to be solved. Because the answer is worse than the question. I think about Elisa sometimes. Wonder what her last moments were like. If she was scared. If she was alone. I hope she wasn't. But deep down, I think she was. Alone in the dark, in that cold water, with whatever it was that chased her there. And sometimes late at night, when I'm falling asleep, I see her in my mind, standing in that elevator, pressing all the buttons, looking at something just over my shoulder, something I still can't see.